Okay, so I just want to make a second short video to talk about a few more things relating to octaves. Now, something that's very common nowadays, we hear about the need to relax in between the octaves. Now, the problem with this is, if you move well in the first place, you can't forget to relax. You don't have to remember to relax. It's just completely built in. On the other hand, if you have a slightly flawed quality of motion, then you feel as if you have to remember to relax. The moment you go fast, you can't do it anyway. It literally becomes impossible. So we have to look at how we move the keys in the first place to make any sense of this and to solve any tension issues that might be involved. So basically, if I put the hand on the key, the problem a lot of the time is we have this very kind of narrow mindset that the arm is the source of energy, the hand is a mere transmitter. If I go slowly and think that way, that can be fine in a slow tempo. All my hand is really doing is holding together to pass on the arm energy, and I can do that at a slow tempo. It's not bad exercise to begin with. We learn to stand well on the keys, get in a good alignment. It's very useful to start off that way. The problem is, once we go faster, we need something completely different in terms of how we move the keys. If I try and do the same thing at a fast tempo, that's just going to start feeling horrible. The problem is, it's so fast that we're holding the hand and resisting the movement. You can't relax in between while you're doing that at the same time. It's not possible. So think of it this way to understand that. If you just hold your hand out in the shape of an octave and imagine resisting movement, relaxing, resisting, relaxing, what does that even mean? It's hard to even sense what that could possibly be like. It's clearly impossible. On the other hand, hold your hand out this time in the shape of an octave and start plucking like this. Draw the thumb and fifth finger together like that. Start doing this. Do that quite fast. That feels nice and easy. By constantly being in motion this way, you're keeping the hand free automatically. As I say, you can't forget to relax. You just keep doing the movement and you're nice and free. So I bring that to the piano. Firstly, I'll show in slow tempo. I'm just going to put the hand in the key, relax downwards a fair amount without quite moving the keys, pluck back out again. Got to be very free. There's no arm energy here for the time being. We're just plucking out from the hand, and the lighter the hand the better, especially the wrist has to be very free here to respond to that. We're just responding to the hand, and you automatically notice every time I finish that, I complete the movement. You can call it relaxation if you like. I just think of it as finishing the movement. I don't need to think of relaxation, it's built in. Just feels nice and comfortable. Now if I want to go quickly, if I do the same thing, feels absolutely fine. I'm not trying to relax. I'm just doing that movement, just constantly doing this over and over. And the freedom is absolutely built in. I'll show you again. So it's the plucking that creates the possibility of freedom. You can think that the arm is passing energy through the hand as well. That's fine. What you can't afford to do is think of the hand as just a passive way of transferring arm energy and nothing more. We have to get this working. If we're going to have any chance of keeping the hand free, if it doesn't do its job of moving, all it can do is get stuck. And it's going to stay stuck if you're at a fast tempo. Now, a good exercise for this, before you do that on the piano possibly, if you struggle with that at all on the keyboard especially, you want to just put the hand down on a flat surface, explode into freedom. The wrist is going to be nice and free. It's that kind of explosive movement of the hand, and you've got to be light. If this feels unpleasant, really lighten the arm, because most of us are so used to weighing the arm down with arm weight ideas. We have to be able to actually lighten the arm. You start down. That's only the beginning. Now you explode into freedom. That's how we get our freedom when we play octaves, by exploding and keeping the arm light enough that it can freely respond to that without resisting it at all. And along those lines actually, I remember years ago, I had one teacher, he showed me how to play octaves. He did the kind of traditional standard explanation, throwing the hand from the arm, very big wrist movements. He showed me in slow tempo, looked something like this. Then I noticed he then played some very fast octaves, and it looked more like this. In fact, I could barely see the wrist movement at all. I was quite surprised. I think the way I would explain this, actually, is I believe once we play fast, it's actually more the hand than the arm. We see someone else play. We see their arm wobbling. We think that's the arm throwing the hand. Now, partially that may still be true, but to a very large degree, I believe the arm is more the responder than the instigator once we start going fast. If I keep plucking like this, see how my arm is responding if I leave a bit of a space in between. There's no arm throw. It just responds out of the keys. I believe, even when I go faster, I believe it's much more about that response than the sense of chucking the arm energy in. You can add that as well if you want to play loud, by all means. At that point, I have to throw the arm energy in. But really, for me, I would suggest the foundation is constantly plucking out of the keys And nobody will ever be in a situation where they have to remember to relax. Get that motion going. Keep the arm free enough to respond to it. You can't fail to relax. It's absolutely built into the process. So just one more thing, if I show some repeated octaves, this is a very good example of it. If I start off with the first octave, I can drop on the first one. By all means, we can have arm energy, no problem at all. But now the continuation, let's add just one more. The continuation is almost entirely the hand and the arm responding to that. If I add a few more again. So I'm not very good on that one, I'll try again. Let's do a few. It's almost entirely down to the hand. If you look at people playing like Liszt, the Sixth Rhapsody, La Campanella, they have to get the hand action going. I can't do this if I use my arm on every one. Works in a slow tempo, can't work if you go fast. It's only for the slow tempo we can do those individual throws of the arm with the hand as transmitter. Once we start going quickly, one arm throw maybe to start off, then we've got that vibration of the hand and a responsive arm. So if you want to be free in octaves, there's only one thing that's going to work consistently. You have to get that hand action working. You can't just lock the hand, hold it into the octave, relax quickly. You have to get the movement if you want any chance of that working.